The Jaguars have given up 10 points, I guess, over the last 2 weeks. What's working for them?
You know what? This is a salty group on defense. If you look at them up front, they're very powerful. They're very strong. They're really good against the run. Their two edge rushers, Walker and Allen, are very powerful. And then inside, they got the rookie linebacker from Utah who's playing really good football. And then defensively on the back end for them, they got Campbell, they got Griffin, they got Cisco, and they got Jenkins. And I spent some time with Rayshawn in L.A. Good player, flies around. They're playing really good football, got a lot of respect for what they're doing defensively right now. It'll be a really tough challenge for us, but one we're looking forward to.
There's a lot of players on this offense that Doug Pederson's familiar with.
Yeah.
Is there any tactical advantage to that, do you think, being familiar with some of their tendencies and whatnot?
Yeah, I think personnel-wise, obviously he knows those players really well, and we're aware of that. And I think offensively, as coaches, schematically, each and every week, we got to do a hell of a job putting our guys in position to make plays and dressing up the looks, because as you get going in the season, you do have some tendencies and you need to be able to break them. We're going into week 4, still early in the season, but we need to do a good job as coaches of dressing things up.
Well, you guys always talk about the double positives, turnovers, explosive plays. How rare is it? I mean, usually when you're getting a lot of explosive plays, you're taking some chances. How rare is it that you see a quarterback just taking care of the football like Jalen, but still getting all those explosive plays?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Like you said, the double positive is huge for us. When you create explosive plays, you got a chance to score points. And with the guys we have on the outside, with Devontae and AJ and Quez and Dallas and Zach, giving those guys opportunities to go get it. I mean, you saw it against Washington, those balls he threw. He gave those guys a chance. A couple of those he put on the money. That big one on the third series down the sidelines to Devontae was huge. Great throw, unbelievable catch. And then you hit AJ on a go ball again, and then right before halftime, the 2-minute, the post he threw to Devontae was huge. So that's a lot of trust with those guys, and that's the repetition, and that's the process we go through, and just getting that work in practice and having the trust in those guys to go make plays, and they're doing it right now.
What stood out most about Jalen's maturation this year?
You know what? I think just his mental makeup and his DNA and how he goes about his business, it's so impressive. It's second to none. It really is. And if he continues on this trend, it's going to be special. And he's doing a hell of a job right now, and we got to keep it going.
Why is going empty benefited you guys through 3 games?
I would love to tell you that, but we could do that off the record, but it's been good.
It was the first game Jalen that you guys have won without running the ball really well.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of went in throwing the ball and not having to, the running game to lean on. How big a step is that for the offense for Jalen?
It's huge. It's huge. Anytime you can run the football like we can and then throw it like we've been throwing it, I mean, it's a great dilemma to have. And so, like I've said this before, but each week it can look different every week. We could run it a whole bunch. We could throw it a whole bunch. And I think the flow of the game dictates how that's going to go. And Jalen was hot, and we kept throwing it, and he did a nice job.
We saw Devonta and AJ line up in a slot a few times now. Why have they been so effective maneuvering in that tight area?
Well, I think just with anything, you always, like I said earlier, you try to put your guys in position to make plays, and certain things you see on tape, you try to take advantage of as best you can. And some of those things work out well for us. Do they work out every time? No, but it's been good.
At the end of the first half, was that when you called 2 plays going into the third down, was that the original 4th down play, or did Jalen have to check to that?
Yeah, no, it was a great play by Jalen. We lost yardage there on the 3rd down, and one of the plays we have in our playbook, he got to it. We lose yardage, so we get pushed back, and he got to a play we've been running, and that's just the preparation part of it, and that's just the repetitions of talking through it in the meetings and practicing it every single day. Great calmness by him in that situation to get that play lined up and get it snapped with 1 second or 2 seconds, whenever it was, and to make that throw to Devontae, it was special.
Did you guys just leave him that, or is that all him?
Well, that happened really fast. I mean, it was really fast. You lose yardage, it's like, get back on it, and boom, and he gets it wired up and gets it going. So, I mean, that's just great growth. I said it last week, but it just continues to grow and grow, and we just got to continue to stay consistent week in and week out.
Shane, is there any resistance or feedback on your end when
the team wants to utilize Devontae from a returner perspective?
Oh, no, I'm not. That's not my area.
So much about,
gave about Jalen's makeup. What does that look like behind the scenes, right? We see how it manifests itself on the field. Behind the scenes, what do you see?
He doesn't leave the building. Like, this guy is here all day, every day. All he cares about is football. And when all you care about is football, you're going to be successful. And that's what he does. It's all he thinks about. He never takes days off. I mean, he's always working. Shoot, I was on Friday, we met after practice, this past week, and I'm walking through the weight room, 4 o'clock, and kind of everyone's gone, and he's in there working, Shoot, last week he was, I don't remember what time it was, maybe 8 o'clock at night, and he came up and said, "What's up?" and going to go home and get some rest. I'm going in the weight room and getting on the bike. He doesn't stop. He's relentless in everything he does, and it's showing up. And when you work like that, good things are going to happen.
we talk so much about his mental growth and all that, but physically, what do you see from his release and his delivery that's kind of grown from last year?
Just the quick decisions he's making. I mean, you see it day in and day out. I mean, just the processing and how he's going through his reads. I mean, it's very impressive, and we got to continue that. The consistency is big. We talk about it all the time. Offensively, we got to be consistent in everything we do, and he's doing that right now.
Do you think has he done anything physically to kind of quicken his motion? It seems like he's a little smoother in the operation.
Yeah, I think with anything, just the work and the process that he goes through in the offseason. We talked about it, and he did a heck of a job of getting his body right and going through those things. And yeah, it's coming out quick.
Talk about that decision-making. Is that the pre-snap versus the post-snap? Is that just experience?
I think it comes with experience. It comes with experience. That's all it is. I mean, you play. The more you play, the more you're going to see. And I think, with anything, you keep getting reps at certain things that he's good at, and you give him multiple looks in practice of, hey, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? You go through that process, and so you give him all the different looks. So when it comes up on the game day, he's like, oh, yeah, I saw this week, so it's good.
What's a play from Washington that sort of exemplifies that, where he was able to problem solve in real time?
Well, I mean, that 4th down before half, we just talked about it. That was huge. I mean, that's big-time football right there. It really doesn't get any better than that, to get the guys lined up that quickly and get them in a play that we've ran down there and get to it and throw that ball. I mean, it's the best.
Couple more. Was that touchdown throw to AJ? Was that a check from Jalen at the line too?
Yeah, so it was called, but he saw a look to where he adjusted one guy's route. He adjusted one guy's route because he saw the coverage. And that, again, was huge. I mean, that's the preparation part. That's watching film like he does day in and day out to get that done. And great play by AJ, great play by him. I mean, that was huge. What was that, 3rd and 8 at the 9? And we were able to score there. I mean, it was a big-time play.
When he makes those adjustments and you're watching from the sideline, do you kind of know what's coming?
Yeah, and you get fired up when you see it. Like when you know what he's checking to, and it's the preparation part of it, and it's within the scheme of what he's doing. It's fun to see. When I saw him, give the check, and I was like, oh yeah, perfect. Like everyone knew it. And it was like, oh, this is perfect. It's gonna score. It was a hell of a job by him.
All those kinds of adjustments and everything that Jalen has made, does he remind you of a quarterback you might have had from your past or seen or anything?
Yeah, I don't want to, compare him to anybody that I've had. He's his own person, but he's been great. Everything he's been doing right now, and again, it's still early in the season, and we got to be consistent with everything we do on all phases, right? Everything we do, offensive line, receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks, all of us, we got to do it together.
Thank you.
Yeah.